Well, hello, everybody. I've got a special guest, CEO of Mandala, Joe Reben.
Mhm.
Been talking with these guys for a little bit. We talk crypto, we talk all kinds of stuff. I'm always asking them about any new news or anything coming on uh, their exchange or whatever. Let me know. Let me be one of the first ones to know. So I got a little bit of news coming out. So I told them let's go ahead and do a video. Let's see what we got going on. So I know you guys use Binance as your back end, so to speak, for all the exchange trading and everything. Um, Maybe you can explain a little bit how that pertains to like SAFU security type stuff, and then also I've always heard you guys had Binance's insurance policy as well, such as if a big hack happened on the exchange or something, people's funds are secure.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, Joe. Pleasure. And let's get into this. The Binance relationship is actually something that we developed over the last year and a half between myself, our CTO Zach Daniels, who will be on another show, I'm sure, as well as our old COO Rich Howe, who unfortunately is no longer with us. This relationship was developed out of our connections in the industry, really, and the connections that we've built because we've all been in this industry for 7 or 8 years, if not longer. So the relationship with Binance is we are the first independently held and privately owned Binance Cloud exchange, which means we do get access to the order books, liquidity, book depth, and everything, every pair that Binance puts out, which is over 1,100 pairs at this point. On top of that, we do, as you were mentioning, get access to their security features. So everything is SAFU. We are using Binance-backed wallets and Binance-developed wallets for our exchange, which means if a hack ever does happen, or if somebody has a problem with their wallet, we go to the Binance Cloud developers alongside our development team, as well as their security and legal protocols to either reimburse the users if their hack happens, or if they can't access their wallet, to figure out why and to get that problem resolved. Now, if you couple that with our support team, which is great, they work around the clock, they're really quick, and it's one of the things that we're very proud of with our exchange, the quickness and speed at which they get back to our users. You have a really good user experience and a really, open user experience with our community as well, where our community is in good spirits. They always interact with each other and they trade together, right? So one of our big things is, don't trade on an island. That's one of our sayings. You really feel that community vibe when you come to Mandala. But getting back to that original question, everything is safe. Our wallets are safe. Our community feels very safe while trading on the exchange. And it's not one of those exchanges that you have to feel the need to make a trade and immediately pull your funds off
Yeah.
to a cold wallet.
Yeah, and I do remember some of those days of you make a trade. Did I get my stuff off? Yes.
Yes.
Like okay, and I'll be the first to say I've used Mandela many times, and in the very beginning I was that let me get it off there, and then it's like that's no problem. So I left it, and I got to the point where I'm like I could do some trades and just kind of let them sit until they fill. And I have no concerns these days of that. You guys have definitely proven yourself. Um,
Thank you.
and I think the funny thing, I don't know if it was one or two of the guys that work for you. We were chatting the other day, and I can't remember if it was one or two of them, but they're like, "Yeah, Joe, we remember back in the day you did your big Veritasium move and you got that house with the down payment and all that." I'm like, "Yeah, like you guys were around there." He's like, "Hell yeah, we were around. We were watching that." I was like, "And now you guys are running an exchange, man. How awesome is that? That's so cool." So
Yeah.
one of the news things you were I guess we're going to talk about is making it a little easier for people to pay their taxes, where it's kind of almost plug and play. What do you got going on in the future with that?
Sure. So that's something that my background as a business and tax attorney comes into play here, as well as my father, who is the CFO and has been doing crypto taxes alongside myself for businesses and individuals since 2015, 2014, and has done taxes in general for about 40 years for major Fortune 200, Fortune 500 companies, as well as individuals. This is a great feature that we're going to really be building out and exploring here with a couple different companies to have an exclusive deal or an exclusive partnership with a tax accounting software where you can pull, API keys from each pair that you're trading on the exchange and kind of plug and play it into their tax software so that you have a guide to what you're going to owe, whether it's gains or what you've lost at the end of the year per tax year, right? And you can develop your own tax strategy. I always recommend getting a tax professional to help you, even if you do pull that data, from the exchange, because it is easier and crypto taxes can be complicated. But you can develop a tax strategy with your tax professional, no matter what jurisdiction you're in. So it's going to plug and play in there, and it's going to really make, you know, crypto accounting and crypto tax filing a lot easier for the user, whether it's a company or a business or the individual. So it's something we're excited about and we're really proud of.
Do you have any timeline of when that may be, you know, brought out?
Sure. We are trying to implement this before the 2021 tax season comes into play. So we're trying to put this in play Q3, Q4, so that our traders have a, have an option, right, when filing their taxes, to use our software and to go forward, with this partnership with the tax accounting firm that we bring in, and the software that we bring in.
Cool, excellent. Yeah, like as a guy that has a Patreon account, you know, I've got different tiers and stuff in there where people want to learn about crypto or my spiritual woo-woo growth stuff that I post sometimes. But a lot of times they're like, Joe, what do you do with taxes? I'm like, I used to use a tax accountant. Now I know what I'm doing. So I just use like QuickBooks Online, or not QuickBooks, but TurboTax Online.
Yes.
And I'm like, I know what capital gains are, and short-term, long-term, I know what I'm doing, but you do have to log all that stuff and keep track of it. So this would make that so streamlined, so awesome. It'd be like, oh my God, like hurry up, hurry up and get that put in place. But like you said, we got to the next year tax time anyway. So what's the hurry anyways at this point? So you'll get that done in no time. So I'm a member of the Discord group, and again, I talked to some of your guys, and they share some stuff with me. So I noticed that they gave me a little link here that has some very interesting stats. $1 billion total trading volume milestone was hit this year for your exchange. 104% increase in trading volume month over month. 57% increase in website traffic to the exchange, and then 306% increase in new user registrations month over month. That is pretty good numbers as far as I'm concerned. I know you guys came out like late last year. For me, I kind of joined and played around a little bit, like right in January. I think I kind of jumped in there kind of early. And then I saw you had your MDX token on there, and I thought, oh, that's something I may want to get, because it does help, with fees and stuff. But sometimes I like just investing and sitting on those. But anyways, I saw a pretty big jump myself. But just talking to some of my people, and then to actually see your numbers right now, I mean, it's really your first year, honestly, that you're really fully open and running. So that's month over month. That's pretty incredible. I know you guys did a new rollout with API fixes and stuff, people who are using, trade bots or whatever they're doing, automatic trading. Recent news, El Salvador has accepted Bitcoin as also with their own currency, legal tender. And I think Ukraine, actually, let me go back. I think Ukraine did something similar, or not did, but is about to do something similar. Ukraine just passed a new cryptocurrency law. What will change? Ukraine is the 5th country in as many weeks to set up ground rules for digital currency following El Salvador's move to use Bitcoin as legal tender. So for everybody who follows me in this whole space, that we've always heard that complaint, it's never gonna be nothing. It's going to go to zero. And we've got countries now accepting this, when this is one coin, Bitcoin, and it's not to say that all of them have to accept Bitcoin, but there's so many different currencies. I just think it's going to be a no-brainer. Sooner or later, all countries are going to have, whether they all join in like the euro, where they have a dollar-based currency, or whatever. In this case, the UK with their euro, or the US with the US dollar. There's got to be some kind of basket of currencies, or one single coin that essentially does something similar, where it's like a basket of currencies. So this is the future, as far as I'm concerned, with how everything's going. We're going to be voting on the blockchain. You're going to be buying stuff on the blockchain. Like, everything's going to be on the blockchain. We've seen this coming, and people ask me today, even like, is it still, I feel like I'm late. And I'm like, yeah, I remember having this conversation in 2017 after Bitcoin got into the thousands, and everyone's like, gosh, I wish it'd go back to, $800 or $1,500. You'll never see those prices again. Yeah,
almost did.
We had a crash, but got down to like 3,000, whatever. This happens in that space. And interestingly enough, same with El Salvador. They make this announcement, and on the day that it goes live, there's a nice slam down in crypto all of a sudden. It's like, yeah, I think it's, my personal opinion is the old system still kind of clinging on, trying to, no, stay with us, rather than, no, the world's moving that way. Sorry. So they try to do these, big dumps on us or whatever. But, if you got, diamond hands, as some people call it, and you just hodl through that or whatever. It's only a loss if you sell. But if you're a trader, on the other hand, and you're using Mandala to make some trades with a very, very low fee of like 1/10%, you could capture 2 or 3%, pretty easily. It could cost you almost nothing, to do the trade. So
yeah,
I've done a few of these.
Yeah, just to speak to that, I mean, that's a great point you make with El Salvador and Ukraine and all these other countries jumping on board. Recognizing Bitcoin as a national currency, or not even a national currency, as a recognized currency. This is the direction that we've always hoped this market would go and this asset class would go from the beginning, right? I mean, there's a reason people built out projects on these blockchains, and there's a reason people were holding this from the beginning. It was to really validate this asset class and make sure it was legitimized in the eyes of the world globally. And now that it's doing that, we're really getting away from that stigma in most cases of, hey, this is a legal currency that was used for illicit transactions. That's some, as you said, the old system they're still clinging to in hopes that it will go away, which it's clearly not going away. And we're getting more to this globally recognized, globally used currency for everyday things, such as store of value, such as developmental platforms in both decentralized and centralized finance, payment processors, RFID and tracking. I mean, there are so many use cases we can just keep going forever. Yeah. But just off the top of my head, those are a few that are really prominent. I mean, obviously the NFT craze here with the proof of ownership, not to mention collectibles, marketing, advertising, all that stuff in this industry. And there's just such great development over the last few years, even since 2017 or 2018 till now, that has legitimized and solidified this asset class in global terms. So it's one of those things that we see and that I'm really proud of as a regulatory and compliance lawyer, and as well as business and tax structuring, which is my background for a lot of these companies, getting them off the ground, to see where we've progressed since 2015 when I jumped into the industry on the legal side. And it's just night and day. I mean, the way these projects are coming out, back in the day, 2015, 16, 17, they had a white paper and vaporware, a lot of them. And now it's these really complex, high-level projects with people in the technological and financial fields that are just world leaders that are dropping from, normal financial or tech companies and opening or starting up their own, businesses and their own companies to get into this field. It's so great to see. And it's just one of those things that makes me really proud to be in this industry and be as involved as I am.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, for me, as more of not a business look at cryptos, just personal use. If I have a wallet, whether it's Exodus or Atomic Wallet or whatever, I've got all my coins and crypto and stuff in there. It's basically, I am my own bank. Right. So I used to have that shirt. I used to always wear BYOB, be your own bank. And I just look at our current banking system. They have bailouts, and then some countries have bail-ins where they actually take your money to bail out, essentially bail in a bad bank's decision, gambling on Wall Street or whatever it may be. So I'm just looking at this going, okay, I could just look at the future one day and go, oh, wow, we could have a wallet, like let's just say Exodus. And at some point it may say, hey, how much, there's an opportunity for you to earn some interest, where we have our own, third party that does all the dirty work. We check out someone who needs a loan, who needs, like a bank would do. This person gets a AAA rating from us. Would you like to use a percentage of your holdings to invest, help them get a loan or whatever? And you just say yes. And if it's a loss, well, it's a tiny percentage of what you allotted to begin with.
Right.
And you risk that for the little interest you're going to get or whatever, so that you can, I can just see this easily be done with a couple of clicks of a button on your wallet. Or no, I don't want to do anything at all. I'd rather just sit on my own money and not earn any interest at all. And you don't ever have to worry about a bank going, hey, or the Federal Reserve or your government going, hey, listen, sorry, but, the banksters, we need to bail them out or bail them in. Like, no, this is my wallet. Like, I'm my own bank. So I can't possibly go insolvent on myself.
That's right.
Some deed, bad loan or whatever. It's just
right. And I mean, that's what some of the beauty about decentralized finance and NFT, creation, things like that you're doing these layer 2 and layer 3 protocols that are really allowing you to, to yield, farm, to stake, to, do these swap pools, liquidity pools, to do financing really on a decentralized level, to do loans. I mean, even do OTC desks. There are these crazy great protocols that are coming out that are even being recently developed that allow users, you're right, to take control of the whole financial system on their own and do their own research and become, educated, not only investors, but educated, I guess, almost like a loan broker or, third-party brokers. I'm a little hesitant to use that word, of course, because with the US, the SEC looks down on that. And with the new infrastructure bill, obviously there's a lot of controversy around that, to segue into that a little bit. And I do not agree with a lot of what the US is doing in terms of that bill. I think we are falling behind, and we're certainly not world leaders in in this silo, in this tech silo. So we do have a lot of, a lot of adversity to overcome here in the US. Let's put it that way.
And I think we'll get there. I'll be honest. I think, just again, personal opinion, I think there's going to be some changes coming, maybe not in the too far future, that old system and that whole thing where it's just locked down by this group of, let's just call it individuals or industry, where it's real hard to break through and get stuff done. It's always locked down too tight. I think that's going to kind of break apart, and we're not going to want to be left behind. We're going to have to say, either we do what the rest of the world's doing, or we're going to get left behind. And I think there'll be some big changes, and it'll be easy to have Americans, join up. I know, unfortunately, that Americans aren't supposed to use your exchange at this current time. You cannot solicit Americans. And another thing I want to just bring up too, because I use a lot of different, have used a lot of different exchanges, and I know they all have different rules for KYC, which people, if you don't know what that means, it's know your customer banking rules, where most of the time you can just sign up with like an email and the phone number. It's level 1, and you do get exchange access, but you have basically a limit on what you can withdraw per day worth of whatever it is you're trying to withdraw in Bitcoin, in an amount of Bitcoin they relate it to. So you have a pretty decent one. Is it still 2 BTC a day worth of withdrawal?
It is. Our level 1 is anything under 2 BTC per day withdrawal limits right now. And then, of course, your level 2, level 3, where you do have to verify with a government issued ID, your address, things like that, a selfie to prove it's you, all the typical KYC, AML procedures. Obviously, if there is someone doing something illicit on the exchange, we do follow security protocols, even if you're on a level 1, and we will freeze the account if authorities contact us, or if there is a dispute over whose money it is, things like that, or a jurisdictional issue, right? Because we do have to follow protocol just like every other exchange. And we do pride ourselves on that, having myself and my father both being attorneys and regulatory attorneys, really being on the board of the exchange and helping to run the exchange. That being said, it does allow you a little more flexibility if you have that level 1 up to 2 BTC a day, and you can trade freely on the exchange without the KYC procedures in place. Now, obviously, will that change? I don't know, right? If a jurisdiction or if a regional authority like the EU's regulatory body says, hey, you need to change these regulations or change this protocol, obviously we're following that. We will stay compliant. Because what happens if we don't? It comes back on us, and we're not going to put ourselves at risk, for anything really, or our fellow board members. But for now, that is where we're sitting. The 2 BTC for level 1.
Excellent. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to cover that we didn't cover today?
Yeah, sure. Just a little thing you were mentioning before. We are at 0.1% for withdrawals, but if you do stake, well, it's not really staking; it's locking your MDX tokens on the exchange. There are tiers on there that you can find on our website. It's 20, 40, 80, 160, and 320,000 tokens. That does lower your trading fee by 0.01% for each level that you lock on the exchange. So if you do a monthly lockup of one of those tiers, you get trading fee rebates at the end of that month in USDT. So you get a little bit of a bonus back for that. We also have a referral program where you can refer friends, and based on your tier of locked MDX, you can share, trading fees, that trading fee rebates with a friend. So you do get little bonuses back, and there are a couple, utility cases there for our token, which are, fun for the user and beneficial for the users, both retail and institutional. So that's something else I'd like to mention there. Also, in terms of our exchange, you were mentioning we did just fix the API. That's a big thing because that's going to allow high frequency traders and bot traders to come in there and plug in to our new API and really take advantage of the liquidity, the order book depth, and the trading fee rebates in conjunction with the MDX lock to really access the exchange and get the full value out of it. So there are obviously there's more in the works as well. So that we're really thrilled about that. We're excited for this quarter and next quarter to really build out the exchange.
Yeah, well, it looks like you guys are on the right track, because again, with those numbers that I saw earlier, that's pretty impressive. I'm glad to see that. As a trader and guy that plays in crypto, you want to see some gains, but that's pretty darn good month over month. So, well, I appreciate you. Any future new news, hey, come hit me up again, and we'll have you guys back on, or if you or anyone else that wants to come on, anyways.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And, just if you'd like to check out our exchange, it's trade.mandala.exchange. You can see we also have a new UI that we recently upgraded. It's really a beautiful UI. Yep. It's a beautiful build out. And I prefer the night mode. I like that quite a bit.
That's how I leave mine.
Easy on the eyes, and it just looks very polished and very clean. So go check it out, have a look, and please, by all means, come trade on our exchange. Join our Discord community. We have a really vibrant community that's always in constant, banter, chatter, whatever it is, and not just about the Mandala token. I mean, about the market in general. So if you want to come hang out and talk to people that are really care about this project and about the market, crypto market in general, come to our Discord or come to our Telegram. It's the official Mandala exchange Telegram. And then the Discord is, I believe, Mandala X, so EX. So go just look it up and jump in there.
All right, cool. Well, until next time, take it easy.
Thanks very much, and you have a great afternoon.
All right, take care. Bye. All right, so in my description box, I will have links for you to go there. Keeping in mind, so I'm not putting them on the spot, so they're gone. I'm like, I could edit this in later, or I'll just pause the recording, and when they leave, I'll just continue. So if you're an American, you're not supposed to use the exchange. They are not supposed to solicit you, which they're not. But everybody that I know who wants to use the exchange, they go get NordVPN or similar, and they set it when they are logging into the exchange, Mandala, they use either Germany or Spain as the two common VPN locations that they connect to. And Nord will tell you, yep, connected. You're connected to Germany, number 158 or whatever. Boom, you're in Germany. Then they go to the Mandala exchange, log in, create their account. I think it only wants your phone number, which even if it's a US phone number, it's okay. And then your email, obviously, so you can log in. That's level 1 KYC. That enables you 2 Bitcoin worth of withdrawals of whatever crypto per day, per 24 hours. Which is pretty insane. Right now, it's nearly $100,000, of daily withdrawal potential if you want to yank it off the exchange. I know other exchanges, many other ones, are not doing that anymore. Some of them did, now they don't anymore. So they still do it at Mandala. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, NordVPN, and I'll give you the link to Mandala, and happy trading. There's plenty, whatever you see happening on Binance volume wise, and it's like the biggest exchange out there, Binance is, that's who they're tapped into. That's where all the liquidity, all the order books are attached to Binance. So you don't have to wonder about, is there enough volume to fill my order? Absolutely. And it's still freaking cheap at like 0.1%. It's ridiculously cheap to trade on there. So at any rate, take it easy.